Skyblock is iconic. Some would say it's the definitive Minecraft experience. Starting with practically nothing surrounded by a never-ending void, you build the world you want block by block. As a professional, perfect Minecraft gamer, I'm pretty efficient when it comes to mining, crafting, building, farming, and editing over 30 hours of footage. So I thought I would do one of these in all its original glory. These videos get a lot of views. These videos get a lot of views. I have 3 major goals for the first 100 days. Build an iron farm, get diamond gear, and build a house. Sounds basic, I know, but you'll see it's a bit annoying in Skyblock. One last thing before we start, but I want to shout out Luke the Notable for pioneering this video format. Obviously he doesn't need the clout from me, but I like to give credit where it's due. This file is over 10 years old, that's pretty wild. Also, you'll notice these neat little angry hearts in the bottom left corner of the screen. These are purely an aesthetic choice. Purely aesthetic. Yeah, okay, I died a few times, but at least I tell you when I cheat. I start out just like everyone else does. I punch at a wood, I make a cobblestone generator, I don't mess it up. Luigi. And from there I mine out as much cobblestone as I can. Now let's expand our platform so we can actually get saplings, because if I don't catch them, then we can never get wood again, and the run is entirely dead. Lucky me though, I managed to get a sapling so we don't have to restart the entire world. After a riveting mining session, I decided to start towering downwards so we can build our platform further down. Having our base be lower down will be good for both mob farm efficiency and for keeping phantoms at bay. After all that we've done, the sun is finally setting on our first day. But it's not done yet. After mining through much of the night, I start building a platform underneath our dirt island so that I can break it without losing it to the void. This all went off without a hitch, except I left one grass block up top so we could grow it down to our level later. And so the sun rose on our second day. Our next stop is a stupid, ugly sand island that I will destroy for its natural resources. You will be satisfied in 3, 2, 1. With all that done, it's time to destroy our sky platform and descend to live with the mole people. After expanding our platform and planting a couple trees, I decide it's high time to go to the nether. Once inside, I'm reminded that I'm playing on a 10-year-old world by the glitched nether portal that breaks if you update blocks next to it. That weirdness aside though, we have our second water source and can now make infinite amounts of water. I further extended our platform in the hopes that a wandering trader would spawn, and while we don't have emeralds right now, we'd still be able to get some llamas and a couple of leads. With our now unlimited source of H2O, we can now start building a mob farm, which is exactly what I do on day 3. I started out day 4 great by cutting down our new birch tree, which then proceeded to drop 0 saplings, meaning we get no birch wood for the rest of the game. Lovely. On days 5 and 6, I finished up the mob farms and then reaped its sweet rewards. Most of day 7 was spent grinding, but I set aside some time to start building our dirt staircase so the grass could grow down to our level. On day 9, as I was expanding the platform to get a wandering trader to spawn, a wandering trader spawned. But as I said before, I don't have any emeralds. But I do got 2 llamas. After getting a potato from my mob farm and a music disc somehow, I started farming up potatoes so we could trade them for emeralds later. To further my efforts of curing a zombie villager, I built a gold farm in the nether. After that close call, I decided to spend the day on our much safer mob grinder, and as I was building our dirt staircase downwards, I found a delicious source of infinite free milk. I headed out to the nether fortress coordinates on the seed, but I found out the world is not what I thought it was. After getting the blaze rods I needed, I sprinted back home and set my sights on catching a zombie villager. This guy seemed really lonely, so I decided to sit in the boat with him, but clearly he was feeling a little testy, so I figured we'd wait on that bonding moment. After the hearty chuck of a potion and a delicious widow snack, he's on his way to humanhood. I figured at this point he'd be a little more accepting of the whole boat ride idea, but he was having none of it. Big thanks to this little jerk for making me change the title and thumbnail. But regardless, he was human now, and I spent all day trying to find him a new friend to no avail. I guess that happens when you murder people. I did end up finding another one, but it didn't really work out. More problems catching villagers on day 17, but at least the grass is nearing the ground, so I guess that's a plus. I further expanded our base only to realize that slimes can spawn on it, so I started making our grass go higher so that when we build farms they won't spawn in and attack us. Which means that I just wasted a lot of time making it go all the way down. Lucky me, there's another wandering trader, and I trade for some pointed dripstone and as much podzol as I can afford. Soon after, we capture another zombie villager, and I set to introduce him to his new best pal. Begrudgingly, I start towering back up to the heavens to build our first large farm. All of this is in service of getting that bread so we can make a villager breeder. Unfortunately, I came back down to find that a bunch of mobs had spawned, and the zombies had converted my villager back into a zombie. Fortunately, I managed to clear them all out and get him back in the boat, so it should just be as simple as getting him now. After replacing Potato Boy, I built up a small villager breeder and brought them both over. Day 23 was pretty much just a grinding day, so there's not much to show for it. Unfortunately, I forgot to record day 24, but as you can see, we've got a baby villager, meaning our breeder is working great. Don't worry, ma'am, I'm perfectly adept at pushing children off high ledges. Our next step is getting our villagers up to the second layer so we can start building an iron farm. I was a little concerned that either me or the villagers were going to drown on our way up there, but as it turns out, we have enough health to make it all the way to the top. On day 27, I started the lengthy process of making massive amounts of dirt. Now, at some point, I ended up getting a moss block from a wandering trader, but I believe that was in day 24 because I don't have the footage. But using bone meal, we can convert stone into moss, moss into rooted dirt into paths, and paths into dirt. It's a roundabout way and it's kind of tedious, but it's definitely worth it. On day 28, we got enough iron to make a cauldron and we can start our iron farm. Then I captured a zombie from our spawner and with a little finagling managed to get him into a cauldron. After getting it operational, I realized that I didn't really have a way to kill these guys as I only had one bucket of lava, so I got to work getting iron so I could make some more. For the next 6 days, I AFK'd in the hopes of getting another bucket of lava because, as the Minecraft wiki said, it takes a long time for a bucket of lava to— no, it takes about 10 minutes. So I essentially wasted the next 2 hours just AFKing for nothing. But now at least we have our lava and I can commit horrible, horrible murder. Days 38 and 39 are spent building up the killing chamber while we wait for more lava to generate. I used the very iron they dropped when they died to make hoppers that collect the very iron they drop when they die. Filling the chamber with lava is a slow process since I can only generate 2 buckets at a time. I should have got more dripstone from the wandering trader, but it's a bit late for that now. I can never leave these 2 alone more than 5 minutes without having to cure them, and we're almost done with the iron farm. Day 43 marks the ultimate completion of our iron golem murder farm, and I could not be more proud. The next 5 days are spent solely for creating dirt for our farm, and on day 49 I discovered that you can use spruce oak saplings to make podzol, which is much faster than using azalea bushes to make a rooted dirt and then convert it to pathways and then break it. So we're going to use that for the rest of the game. On day 50 we reached the halfway point, and I realized I should probably get started on our goals considering I've only finished 1 of the 3. Figuring it would be the easier of the 2, I started building a house, but as you'll soon find out, that was not the case. I started out by lining out the main entrance because I want this thing to be big. I'm sure that won't end up screwing me over later, but I spent a lot of today mining and then I got started on the foundation for the house. Sadly, I came up this morning to see our sky cows knocked off the ledge by goats, so I decided to return the favor. That appears to have been the right move. As I came up the next morning, I saw we had a herd of sheep. After finishing the outline for the foundation of the house, I set to improve the cobblestone generator for maximum efficiency. I spent the next day getting fat stacks of cobble to use as building materials, then used said materials to finish the foundation. And I gotta say, you can never have enough mossy bricks. Day 57 and we're back on that mining grind. I decided that stripped logs would be used prominently on the house because I don't use them a lot, but I think they're a really pretty block. I've also fallen in love with the new azalea bushes, so there's gonna be a lot of greenery on this build. I wanted to use a white block for the roof, and since I didn't want it to burn to the ground, I used bone blocks instead of wool. Sure, it's prohibitively expensive, but how else am I supposed to show off my mass amounts of wealth? Speaking of being prohibitively expensive, look how much wood I have to chop down just to make one section of my house. I'm sorry, Mr. Beast, I'm sorry! Stop! Stop! At the very least, my iron farm is working efficiently. I already have enough for a full beacon. I was getting pretty tired of having to smelt cobblestone to make moss, so the next day I built up a smooth stone generator / moss farm. Day 63 sees the completion of the moss farm, and I earned more fat stacks from villagers. Days 64 through 70 were pretty uneventful as I just spent them working on the house, so here's one frame from each day. If you didn't catch that, you should have been paying better attention. On day 71, after realizing one of my sheep was mysteriously missing, I decided to build them a proper pen. As I was finishing up the floor, a creeper dropped down and killed me. Then when I came back to repair his explosion, another one killed me. You know, I made those fat stacks dope. At the very least, I was able to finish up the floor the next day. I know it seems like these days are getting shorter and shorter, but that's because most of the day I spend farming bones for my roof. But I stand by my decision. After discovering I had a few villagers that accidentally went into the nether, I decided to invest some iron and some emeralds into getting full diamond gear. This is a lot less expensive than you might think, but I can't quite afford a helmet. Since I had an extra villager, I figured I'd go for a looting book to put on my sword so that way I could farm bone blocks more efficiently, but I ended up getting mending first and it was too good to pass up. Okay, these guys are not wanting to breed, so I'm just gonna kidnap the extra one. Oh. I managed to get looting 3 within 30 seconds, so taking that mending trade was definitely worth it. I put everything on my sword and the bone output was definitely increased. I spent day 78 trading up with my toolsmith so I could get a diamond axe, then expanded my platform to be dirtier than ever. Finally ended up getting that helmet and we are looking drippy. For some reason my toolsmith stopped trading with me, so he needed to spend a little quality time with the zombie. Okay, he still won't trade with me, but at least his prices are better. After a full day of maximum profits, I was able to upgrade my pickaxe to efficiency 4. Every tool could use a little mending, right? In an effort to reduce cost, I redesigned my side towers to use less bone blocks. But looking back at the footage, I'm actually pretty sure I ended up using more. Efficiency 4 has kind of lost its magic, so I decided to upgrade to efficiency 5. After colossally failing an MLG water bucket, I finished up the left side tower. Most of these last few days are spent building up the house, but at least it actually looks like a house. The next few days are indescribably boring, so here's a haiku I wrote about them. Minecraft house too big. Should have gone for smaller one. I talk like caveman. On day 95, I accidentally built my roof too big and ended up spawning phantoms for the very first time. After actually landing an MLG water bucket, a skeleton tried to game end me, but no matter, as you shall become part of my roof. By the way, I'm 2 for 3 on the MLG water buckets, so you can stop making fun of me now. I worked on building up the walls so this could actually be classified as a house. Obviously, I wasn't going to be able to finish the house in the next 2 days, but I'm going to get this challenge on a technicality, damn it. I built up a proper sugarcane farm because I figured that's something that you should probably have in a Skyblock world. And as I was finishing up on the back wall, the sun rose on day 100. Yeah, it's not exactly detailed everywhere, but it's got walls, a roof, a bed. What more could you want? Oh, you are not taking this away from me on my final day. Looking over on my valuables, I'm quite proud of what I accomplished in the last 100 days. And despite all the strife that it caused me, the house looks pretty good from the front. Even if on a technicality, I accomplished all 3 of my goals, and I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty sure if I had another 100 days, I could definitely finish this house. So, if this video gains enough traction, maybe I'll make a part 2. I might anyway. I had a lot of fun making this, I'm not gonna lie, even though it was really time consuming. If you enjoyed this video in any capacity and you think people you know might as well, please share it around. This took over 50 hours to make. No, I'm not exaggerating. All that being said, I will see you next time.